Welcome to my channel. My name is Arissa and this is Arissa Root Art. And today I am doing a couple of the big caterpillar molds that are out right now, and I think they're super cute. And so I'm going to do two of them. I have no idea how much resin these take, but the first one I'm going to do, it used to be one of my daughter's favorite books. I have a Christmas mold, obviously, or Christmas ornament of it, but it's the Very Hungry Caterpillar. So I'm going to do it in that design for one of them. Let me get my resin so I can put some eyes in. And then the second one, I don't know quite yet what I want to do, but I'm going to do something fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the eyes in the Very Hungry Caterpillar one, and then we will paint it with some micas, and it's going to be a lot of different reds for the head, and then a bunch of different greens for the body. And the spots, I don't know, because the book character doesn't have spots that I can see, but my caterpillar is going to have a few spots, and I'm okay with that. But I'm going to put you on fast forward or music or whatever, because you don't necessarily have to watch me do all of this part. Whoops, dropping things already. I have everything in reach, but everything is kind of, I drop a lot of stuff, y'all. I drop a lot of things. I'm gonna pour them in black because I don't want to, I want the colors to pop. But these take 6mm eyes, so I'm gonna get those in. I just wanna see how well I can get my stopper or my little pin down here. I think I'm gonna get a pipette and do my resin that way. Oh, I don't know. I want the eyeballs in, and it's a little bit of a deep head, and there's no turning the head out to put the eyeballs in because you'll lose them. So I'm gonna make do. I'm gonna do as best as I can. How about that? I'm gonna just do the best I can, y'all. So I'm gonna put some resin on this, so I don't have to try to drip it in with that bottle, because that bottle is giant. Maybe I'll just do this and touch it with this, because that way I can direct it a little bit. Can I? No. Change of plans. I want something big. So I'm going to use this because this will reach down there. So I've got my light in place. I'm going to put just one little drop in the eye socket. And I have my red eyes. They are nice and symmetrical, so I don't have to worry about making sure they're facing the right way or anything like that. The symmetry is there. Where's my wax pencil? And so I'm going to get this eyeball in there with this wax pencil. Oh, don't flip over like you just did. You get something and turn it back over. Get back where I put you. I don't want to flip it with the wax pencil necessarily, because I don't want wax on the front of that eyeball. But I'm going to have to. Maybe. Get in there. There. Okay. Now it's flipped back over, so I can grab it again with my wax pencil and put it in the eye socket. There we go. Oh, this one's being a pain in the tuchus, man. My word. Get in the hole. There we go. There. Good gracious. That one was painful. I'm going to push it down a bit to make sure it's well seated in there. I've lost a couple of eyes lately in a resin pour. That's not cool. Make sure it looks good there. And then I will cure it from the top. I don't want any bubbles, but I'll cure it here. just a little bit. And then I'll cure it from underneath also. And this is a really powerful lamp. It's from UV Beast, so it doesn't take long to cure that little bit of resin. There we go. I think just about 10 more seconds and it should be good. All right, now let's do the other one, hopefully a little more gracefully. Painting, and I'm going to do this one first. I'm going to use the eye candy, I think it's Yamagata red. I considered using my Supernova because it's beautiful, but it's so expensive for what you get. But I think the Supernova would look really, really freaking cool. But I don't know if I want to use it. Because I have more than one, because they come from Australia, so I bought more than one, but I love them so much. All right, let me get rid of the resin and get rid of my tools here. Put that just over there. I'll clean that up a little bit later. Toss this because it's got resin in it. Okay, let me get this clean here. There we go. So, oh gosh. They do go far. So I know that if I do use the Supernova, it will look better. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Now, what I wanna do, no, I don't want to. I was gonna consider painting the mouth on, just so it's easier, but I don't want to wait for it to dry. So I'm just gonna use my Supernova, tamp off a lot of it because you don't need a lot, and just get it in here. I'm not going to worry about getting it in the nose or in the little antenna, because the nose I will paint black. Oh, it's so pretty. If I pop out the eyes, I know I can just do them again. So I'm just getting down in there. I had to use this big fluffy brush so I can get the mica on the side of it. So I can get the sides of this head, because it kind of goes up and under a lip. And I can see under through it where I'm getting. So that's helpful. Now, I want to get to this side without popping my eyeballs out. And then I have to go underneath the chin also without popping my eyeballs out. So you see, you don't use a lot. You just don't have to use a lot of these. They're so wonderful. I love these pigments, or these micas. Oh, I remember what I do. I'm silly. In a pinch, when I can't get under things, I use my fingers, and it works really well, y'all. My gloved finger bends and gets this pigment, or this mica, to where it needs to be. Much better than trying to manipulate a brush. And just make sure your glove is clean, and you'll be able to get to where you need to be. And I'm still not using that much, because it's just a little bit that gets on my glove and I spread it. Get it in his chin here. I can see I missed a spot there. I can see I missed a spot in the cheek. There we go. Looks good. In this cheek, I missed a spot. And on this side here, that's very convenient. Very convenient. I'm glad I remembered that. My finger works much better. Again, I'm not gonna worry about those antlers. I'm never gonna get there. And then I'm just gonna take this. Look how beautiful that color is on this black thing. That's so pretty. And kind of clean up what I can reach. There. And I think his head looks good. When you put it up to the light, it kind of glows bluish. So I can see there's a spot here that I missed because there's no blue spot there. So that is another way to see if you got all your spots. Because when you put this up to the light, the head looks blue. And you can see where the blue is not. The back of his head, I have one little spot where I need to get some more blue down. And I can see it in here now where it is. There we go. Or more supernova now. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Okay, I have a little tiny bit of cleanup to go on that one little ridge. So let me put this away carefully and get a little piece of paper towel and some alcohol and just get my finger down in there and clean up this first little ridge area for his body. There we go. All right, I'm trying to decide. I think I'm gonna make his spots gold because that just seems like it makes sense. And should I use my starlight? Maybe. It's so pretty. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use my starlight. Where are you? It's in my little bin here. So, a little bit of gold, smaller brush. Gosh, that's so pretty. Sorry, I'm so dazzled by these pigments. They're so, so, so pretty. Let me get a smaller brush with a smaller head. Clean it off and then go to town on these spots. I'll fast forward through all of this. Looks good. I have a little bit of over pour, but I'm actually not going to clean it up because A, it's not a lot. B, if you look at the very hungry caterpillar, he's a little haggard. So he doesn't have clean lines. He doesn't have anything like that. So I'm not gonna worry about that. And I'm gonna just paint these with a variety of golds. So I have some gold green chrome powder in that light green and this darker green. I have the Aurora, which is the Tiny Turner. I have dark green by Resin. And then I have some flakes. However, with the flakes, those will be the last thing I do because they're gonna be so flyaway. So I'm gonna make sure I get, he has how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So I'll do these 4 colors and one of the flakes. And then the feet, I'm gonna do gold. But I don't want the flakes to fly so far. So if I put the micas down first, then the flakes, once they hit the places that are already covered in mica, they won't stick to it. So I'm gonna do my flakes last. So I think the first color I'm gonna put on next to the red will be the darker green on the first section. And this is the biggest section. So I'm just gonna just take this. It's an intense, it doesn't require black, but I'm gonna put the black in. And so I'm just gonna brush this through. And keeping it facing down will make it so the excess falls in the head, which is already painted. So again, negating the problem that is excess mica in places that doesn't belong because it's already painted in the head. And also the spots are already painted, so it's not gonna stick to those spots either. Get all to the edge of the section here before I go to the bulk of it. Ooh, I love this color. It's gonna be pretty. It reads it's like a purple green shift. So it's not gonna be just straight green in here, which is good because this is like a children's character. So I don't mind the whimsy of having a different set of colors. There's a point in there that I need to clean off. And it looks like the supernova may have gotten to it right there. That's the red for the head because this green is not sticking to that one spot. So I'm just gonna take a brush, a piece of alcohol, paper towel, and wipe that whole entire section off. And that's gonna dry quickly. This is just 99% alcohol, so it'll evaporate really quickly. And then I can go over it and paint it. And it's covered. All right, getting down underneath the body here. All right. So I'll show you my different colors, but then it looks like I have resin on there too. I don't want that. So I'm gonna use the sharper squared off end of this little paint brush, this little micro brush, and I'm gonna scrape the resin off. And that was just from the resin I put in the eyes, it dripped. And you can tell when your color is not touching your mold. But again, the character that is the very hungry caterpillar is not a perfect drawing of a caterpillar. You know what I mean? It's haggard looking. It's a little human. You know what I mean? It's like us all. There's some flaws to it, and I appreciate it for it. All right, that's done. I think the next section, I'm gonna do a flake. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do one of the chromes because I have two chromes and I want them to be separate. So I'm gonna do the lighter chrome color. Clean that off of me. Get my light green chrome. I love these chrome powders. I got them on Amazon and these pots go so far. I love these chrome colors. And you get like 36 different colors. Oh, it's so pretty. I want to do this green, but I don't want these two. This is my, what am I doing? My swatches. So this is the Aurora. And I feel like this green is going to be very similar to that. So I think instead of the green here, I'm going to use the Emerald Cat by Mateo. Let me see if I can find it. It's a newer bottle, so you shouldn't have a bunch of... Ah, I picked it up. Yes. I'm going to do not this middle section. I'm going to leave the middle section for a flake. And so I'm going to do this second to last section in this color. And then I'll do the feet, and then I'll do the flake. I may only do one of these today, but I will have some extras that I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna use polyurethane resin. But I think I should only do one. And the extras, I'll just kind of do it on fast forward because I'm making magnets. I have an art show next Saturday. Today is Sunday. And so next Saturday I have an art show. So I wanna make some magnets for that show. Now I'm gonna do my feet. Yes, my feet. What color do I want my feet, y'all? Let me check and see what color this little guy's feet are. It's kind of a goldy green, his feet. I don't want to show him on my thing because I don't know how all this nonsense works with copyright and blah, blah, blah. Not that I'm not monetized on this channel yet. I don't have any followers. I'm just growing. This is my 4th video. So I'm not worried about that, I guess. Let me see. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, though. I'm going to do his feet in Maple by Let's Resin. So I'm just finding that. It's kind of a ready color. I'm just going to go with that and have a little artistic license. And maybe if this is full, that's enough. It doesn't take a lot to do these colors. So his little feet, I'm going to do in Maple. Get that. Oh, this green is not fully covered. Let me get a little bit of the green that's excessive here. There. Okay, the other side looks good. And so let's do his feet. Yeah, I'm so used to like thinking of this channel as my other channel that where I am monetized, my art channel, my painting channel, I should say. And so I keep thinking in terms of, oh, will it be demonetized? I'm not monetized yet, so I'm not going to be demonetized. I can, however, lose my channel, and I don't want to do that. So no copyright infringements and stuff. This is not the Very Hungry Caterpillar. It is just inspired by the Very Hungry Caterpillar because I think it's an awesome book, and my daughter liked it, and so that's why I am inspired by it. In my head, and I'm not going to sing it obviously, but it's the song Make It Lower by Carpet Man. Just recently discovered the song and I could listen to it over and over again. I don't know, that's my food dehydrator going off, sorry about that. I've got some resin pieces in there that are now cured and need to be cooled before I take them out. But this song is so fun. So if you've never listened to it, go look up Carpet Man, Make It Lower. It's just a fun song. I love it. And it's in my head. And it's living there rent-free for the time being. You know? We make sure that's good. Again, you can see through. And it looks like all my parts are nice and covered and burnished in. And I didn't lose too much. So that's nice. So I'm going to make some resin up here. I'm going to make up 12 ounces. Gosh, I feel like I'm gonna need more. Let me prep something here. I'm gonna make up 12 ounces. That's what I'm gonna do. And if I need more than that, I will make up more because I'm just pouring it in black. So I will be back. One moment, please. Oh, let me take my respirator off. So I'm always a little paranoid and I don't like mixing resin. So I actually mixed up 20 ounces because I always have something there near me that I can use this resin for. So I did that. Now she's got these two tiny little antennae at the top of her head. So in order to get alcohol down there, I'm gonna put some alcohol in a pipette because it's got a tiny little tip. And get it without bubbles. And I'll just put a little bit of alcohol in each of those antennae. So the resin will flow down there. And that's it. Let me put this where I want it for the night. I think right here. Let me make sure you can still see it. Yeah. And I got my resin mixed up. I used this resin dye paste from, what does that say? Vividye? V-I-V-I-D-Y-E? I don't know. It's a paste that I use to make it black. I use that because it's a little less viscous than my Let's Resin one, so it mixes in much easier. So that is why I use that. I'm gonna just pour this slowly into the head. In order to not get bubbles under the chin, I tilt it this way. Now, before I keep on going, I'm gonna squeeze my antenna to make sure they don't have bubbles. There are a couple little ones coming out, but no more. There we go. And just get it to go. It fills up the chin first. And that way you know you've gotten under your chin. And then in order to fill it up all the way, I keep it tilted to the point where I know the head will not empty again, really. And then I put it back this way. And that way I know the head stays full. So this was 20 ounces of resin. I don't know how much this will take, but we shall find out. It's a good mold. It's very well made. I appreciate it. Okay, there is 20 ounces. It's slightly domed simply because, sorry, there's a dome. It's domed because I know it's gonna shrink back. Now, this is black, so I can't really tell where my level is. So I'm gonna go to my ounces here and just clear it so I can see where the level of this resin is. Oh, it did take a lot. It took 16 ounces. Excellent. I'm glad I didn't make 12. So I have about 4 ounces left. I'm gonna let that be. With this 4 ounces of resin, what do I want to do? I don't think I can do both of my snakes because I think one takes 3 and one takes 2. So I need 5 ounces there. So I don't want to start something I can't finish. I know I can scrape this down. Let me scrape it down and see if I can get to the 4 ounce mark or the 5 ounce mark. So, because I do have to count all this resin on the side. It's in there. I can use it. So let me see how much I truly have if I scrape my cup down. It may be just about 5 ounces, y'all. So that thing takes 16 ounces, and that is good to know. Let me go to my ounces now. It is exactly 5 ounces. So yeah, I'm gonna do my snakes. I do have to paint them still, but that resin is very fresh. So I have a little time. So let me grab them here. And I'm gonna do some interference colors, obviously, because they are mixed black. There we go. Yeah. I have these things I want to make here, but I do really want to pour them in polyurethane resin. I don't want to pour those in epoxy. And also, I don't think I would have enough of everything. So looking at my swatch, I think I'm going to do these 2 snakes in a combination of Nebula and Eclipse. They're right here. They do accept eyes. Let me see if I can find some little eyes. Yeah, this is gonna be a no from me, dog. These eyes did not want to cooperate, so I am not putting them in this snake. They were too small. There was excess resin on the outside, so I had to peel it off the glass. Absolutely not worth it. 10 out of 10, would not recommend these little eyes, but I digress. Maybe another one will work better. These, however, did not want to cooperate, so I am bagging these eyes and will draw the eyes in after it's cured. Okay, you know what? Forget the eyes. I just peeled the backing off of this green one. Maybe I'll repair it one day. Right now, I'm not going to. Forget the eyeballs, y'all. Let me get my brushes put away, or my knife put away. Gosh, that hurt my hand too. That wasn't even worth it. So I'm just going to brush these colors in kind of sporadically because I don't mind if some of the black comes through. So I'm just going to kind of brush them in here and there. Good about the color on here. Okay, so I'm actually going to spritz this with alcohol because there's a lot of little tiny places in here. So I'm going to spritz it with alcohol. If the colors blend, they blend. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Same thing though. I want the tail to be full. So I'm going to let this go down in here in the tail. Pause, make sure that tail gets full of that black. There we go. and then pour it slowly. So especially because I can't see through this color because I'm using black, I want to pour it slowly to make sure that I get the maximum amount of these crystal ridges covered. And the best thing is kind of to go and kind of chase your resin on these, letting it fill up ahead of your pour, if that makes sense. You don't want to be hitting the mold with the stream directly. I want it to fill in like a lava flow, essentially. And as soon as it gets to itself, then I can pull back. Whoops, slipped. Get that in there. I have exactly the resin I need. We're not wasting any. Get in the snake. I'm gonna let that flow for now. Do the same with the big snake. Get it into the body or the tail. Oop, not spilling my caterpillar. That would be so sad. And let that flow into the tail. Pause it. And get your tail full. And then start at the head again and make sure you let this resin, you chase your stream. All right, let this one settle. Go back to my first. And this one's gonna have to stay here for the night because I don't want to move it around this caterpillar much. So the caterpillars take 16 ounces of resin. Or it was about 15 ounces actually because I had 5 left, but make 16. You just always need a little extra, right? Let that settle. We have to start scraping a bit. And now, because the flow is met itself, you can just kind of pour wherever. You don't have to follow it. It really good mold with regard to flowing down where it needs to be. So I'm gonna let that sit there. Come back here. There's a little extra in the head that needs to be put in. Straighten my head out there. And let that come here in the body and flow down. Oh, that was a perfect amount. All right, apparently this is where I concentrate because I spent a literal minute here not saying a word to you all, just kind of pouring resin. So fast forwarding through this quiet nonsense and getting back to the other end when I'm gonna wrap it up and say goodnight anyway. So see you in 1 second. Bye. There we go. I think that looks good. I'm just gonna kind of bother the head and bother the tail a bit. Not get resin on my clothes. Make sure this is full. Feels full to me. Feels full to me. And the heads are easy to fill, so I don't think I have a problem with that. All right, I'm gonna clean out this cup, and I will see you guys for demold. Bye. All right, it's time to demold. I am super excited. I did a good thing today. I woke up and I was like, let's go demold, let's go demold. But you know what? I was like, no, go work out first. So I did. I just haven't showered yet because I can be a little impatient, right? Before I demold these, I wanted to show you the little extras I did. These will be turned into magnets. I had these little cupcake molds that I've had for a few years now. I pour them usually in like resin crete, and sell them unpainted for like kids crafts so you can paint them. But I wanted to make them in black, a little weird. And so I poured them just in black polyurethane resin, some of my metallic markers, and just added a little color to them. So that is those that are, what did I say? Those are those. So they're just kind of weird, quirky things. I'll put a magnet on the back of them, and those will be little magnets. And then I've made these, then I have these cherries that I painted in the Inferno from the Tiny Turner, and I really like that too. I'll probably highlight this and highlight the leaves just to add a little bit of contrast, but I really like those. And then I have this little dragon that I poured. I threw some eyes in and highlighted a little bit with some gold. And then this little grumpy bear. This grumpy bear is so cute. I love this grumpy bear. I have one on my locker at work. I absolutely love it. Oh, it's so adorable. But let's get to it. I have lost my alcohol. It is in this room and I have no idea where I put it. Usually it's on my table and I'm like, where's my alcohol? It's just not here. And that's weird. But I want to clean off my mold. So let me get my little alcohol. For real though, where's my alcohol, y'all? It's so strange. Oh, found it, never mind. I put it in my stir sticks. I was like, where did it go? Just because I've had this open, let's just open this, pour this in. I'm gonna clean off my molds before I take the items out. That way it's easier to do. Sorry for that delay. I'm not really gonna be that, gonna try to be the person that doesn't do the whole bated breath. Let's do everything first before we demold and stuff. Like, I'll try never to take off over pour before I reveal it, because you guys can see through the over pour. You know it's gonna go away. So I don't have to do that. This is just best practice because it's easier to clean my mold. So this isn't a delay tactic. Sorry about that. I should have done it before I got to camera. Next time I will. All right, let's start with this little guy. This mold is so easy to demold and it's wonderful. I always start with the head and peel the body. And then the last bit, of course, will be the tail, but just kind of get your hand in there. That's where I wear gloves. I don't want to touch the inside of my molds because I don't want fingerprints, and I put lotion on my hands, so I don't want grease. And so for the tail, I just release it, and then it slides out super, super easily. Like that. Oh, I did get a little bubble in this one. Ooh, but I like it. Those are a little soft, so I did get a little bubble on that one. All right, I didn't put eyes in it, as you remember, but I just found some things I want to use for eyes in a craft drawer that was made up of things. I don't want this to move anymore. Sorry. I will do this one thing because this towel moving is annoying me. Stay put. There we go. Okay, so I found some things in a craft drawer that I was given by a friend of mine that I can use for eyes. I'm gonna try them for eyes, so I'm excited about that. So again, just kind of release the tail here, and then it slides out really easily. You just have to be gentle with it. Just kind of get up as close as you can, and it slides right out. A little tiny bubble in the front of that one. Whoop. Oh. And there's that one. Those look really cool. I'm not gonna worry about this bubble here. I can either trim it down to make it pointed, or I can repair it with some UV resin. That's super cool. I like those. Let me see how they look in the camera. I always like to see your and see what you can see. Oh, that shiftiness is so pretty. I love those two colors together. That was the Supernova and the Eclipse, I believe. I used on those two. Or Elixir and Eclipse, maybe. Those are pretty. All right, let's get to the big guy. My finger, I can tell, I just did the alcohol, and I have pretty sensitive fingers to cold. And so I have Raynaud's syndrome every once in a while where my fingers like to go cold and dead, and it's really annoying. And I can tell the alcohol being on my finger, because alcohol is so cold, starting to, I always tell people, I'm like, oh, my finger's about to die. So I just lose a little blood flow. The veins constrict in them. So with the head of this, go really, really gently. I'm going to just pull it up to myself for a little suspense, but go gently just to not dislodge his little antenna. And this is definitely cool, and it's cured because I poured it so deep. So almost get it over his little face. And then the last bit, oh, that supernova is so pretty. Get his little antenna out without breaking them. Sorry, I'm just want to go really gently on those. There we go. Let me fix my mold. I will do that first. That'll be my only little point of suspense, is put my mold correct. Look at this, you guys. And the eyes are perfect. I do tend to, maybe I will in this one. I sometimes take off the UV resin with a little blade. I won't do it on this one, but look at him. Oh my goodness, he is adorable. I think I have a little overpour right here. Yep, that's just gonna come off. Oh, but he's so cute. And I love that his antenna, because I didn't put any of the black in, or the color in there, but I did spray put the alcohol in there. A little bit of the color came from here and dipped into his antenna, so they're colored but not like brightly the same color. So I'm just gonna color his little nose in on camera here. It'll take 2 seconds. Let me get my marker. This is just, oh, not that one. Where are you? A black Sharpie paint pen, oil base. Oh, do I want to use this one? These little tiny tips, they like to leak. I don't like those. Now it's a matter of finding the correct marker. Here you are. There we go. So, oh, this one's so cute. So I'm just gonna color his little nose in, just to give him a little color. Little distinction, I should say, on his little nose. Oh, this one's so cute. So remember, this one takes 16 ounces of resin. That's if you do straight resin. If you put inclusions in, or, you know, glitter or rock or whatever you want, it'll take a little less. But for now, I may draw a little mouth in there. I will draw a little mouth in there, but I need to get I need to get that little marker to work for me. Oh, he's so cute. I love him. I love him, love him, love him. I don't know, did I just touch that nose? I did. I don't think I want to go around. I considered for a second going around each one of his little dots, and I didn't miss any, which is great, but I don't think I want to. But this is my little caterpillar, and those are my little snakes, and I showed you my little extras, so thank you for watching. I truly, truly love how this little caterpillar looks. It's adorable, and the color shifting is so pretty. Can you see it? Does it shift for you? These two are amazingly similar. What did I put in that? I'd have to go back and remember what these two colors are, but they're similar. But I really like it. I may go back and do the black spots, just render the black spots a bit, just so or the gold spots, so they pop out a little bit, but I really like them. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will try to take some pictures and see you next time.